disappear in my video, right? Right. Welcome back, hot dogs and donuts. It's your boy Spider Pig, aka TWP. You already know what time it is. It's Saturday. That makes it another Super Saturday. Did I even title this? Probably not. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. We was ready to go. Anyways, today's Dragon Ball content is gonna be over these boys and their Xenoverse 3 reviews. Shouts out to the people not liking that it's a fighting game that you really can't fight like you're supposed to based upon the previous Dragon Ball systems. I mean, they should have named it Xenoverse 3, should have just been Dragon Ball 1000. But hell, whatever. Y'all know how we do though. We're gonna get it in, have us some conversations about it. And anybody that does what they do is gonna do where they do. So shout out to that part of the game. Let me see. The volume down on that phone.
That's my boy. I'm with.
Said he even got his own haters cheering for him. Uh oh, here comes this shit.
I played Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, and this is my honest review about the game. Now, I did not play the game once, I didn't play the game twice, I played the game 3 times. And plus, I am not under no contract or nothing like that. If you know me, I am an honest guy, bro. I cannot lie to y'all, bro. I couldn't wait to go play to give y'all my honest review about this game. So, let's get into it. When I think about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, I think it was very mid. And that's just the honest truth, bro. I want to like this game more than you. You know what I'm saying, bro? I tried my best to like it. It's very mid, bro. I'm just being completely honest. The combat is just not there. It don't feel nothing like Xenoverse 2 at all. Like, if you're a Xenoverse fan and you pick up that game, there's an 80% chance that you're not going to like it. Now, maybe, if you never play Xenoverse, you pick up the game, you might fall in love with it. Now, I am not going to really bash this game like that yet because I understand there are people saying that, oh, it's a demo. It could be the first build and stuff like that. So I'm not going to bash it to the fullest yet. But knowing Bandai Namco, usually they don't change a lot in things like that. They might update some graphics here and there, but hardcore mechanics usually don't get changed like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still going to give them the benefit of the doubt to, like, you know, improve because they still got a whole year for the game to come out. So a lot could change, you know? A lot can change. But I am very disappointed of what I played, man. I felt like it could be better in my opinion, man. If I had to compare it to something, and a lot of y'all are not going to like this, it's like Kakarot with Xenoverse animations. That's how it feels to me, bro. This is the truth, bro. It's just the truth. It feels like Kakarot with Xenoverse animations. Like, it doesn't play like Xenoverse at all. Not even a little bit. Like, that's what really shocked me. It don't have the Xenoverse feel. Later on in the video, I'm going to show you everything you can do. I mean, everything you can't do in Xenoverse 3 that you can do in Xenoverse 2. And a couple of my friends did play it too, man, and they just got bored. And I felt the same way. Like, mid-playing, I just felt bored. Like, it feels like you're, like, directed the whole time. It don't feel like you have any freedom with the game. It don't feel like it at all. First two, you can do a square
Hi,
X.
so
I mean, you
good
can
to
do
see you.
square,
Thanks for
triangle,
coming by,
square,
saying
triangle,
hi.
triangle, square, and do a super attack. In this game, it's just straight squares or straight triangles. It don't feel like you can mix them together. It don't allow you to do that. And I feel like that's where it fails at. It feels like if you're gonna do the square combo, it's just strictly square. If you're gonna do the triangle combo, it's just strictly triangle. And I feel like that's what makes the game feel bland. That's why everybody gameplay look the same. I know what you're thinking. If I play it, then I'll make it look different. No, you're not, buddy. Your gameplay will look like my gameplay. I'm telling you. It's not much you could do. There's not much you could like show off. There was no grabs in the game. I couldn't grab. There was no like regular sidestep. There was only a vanish sidestep. I feel like that's something that you need to have to cancel out your moves, because if you only got the vanish ones, you're stuck in the animation. You know what I'm saying? If the other sidestep, you can like move around your character. That's how it was in Xenoverse 2, and they don't have that in this game. Now, some positive things that I saw in this game that I did was the CPU is difficult. I really do enjoy that. It was very hard to fight the CPU. That's something that Xenoverse had a problem with, was the CPU being, trash. So the CPU was difficult, so I do enjoy that. The open world, the little role play lobby things, it felt smooth. You feel me? Everything else felt smooth besides the fighting. The fighting felt a little clunky, but everything else felt kind of smooth, like running around.
So he just said the fighting system in the fighting game is trash. Yeah, so I mean that lets you know about buying trash.
Around and doing a little thing. I didn't feel a problem with that, bro. But everything else felt smooth though. But it was a little role play experience too, because everybody that played the demo at the DreamCon live event, bro, the audio didn't even freaking work, bro. They gave us some bootleg headphones that barely worked. The audio didn't work, bro. It was cutting out. It was like if you're playing music and you keep like cutting out the song. Like, it was terrible. The audio didn't even work, dude. But I know a lot of y'all might be disappointed with this information and things like that. And I'm very disappointed too, bro. Trust me. I'm not a hater. I'm not hating on the game, bro. You will see what I'm talking about when you get your hands on it, buddy. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. Hopefully you don't see what I'm talking about. Hopefully they fix it in time. I hope they fix it in time so you guys do not have to play with the freak I just played, bro. Because I'm not gonna say the game is terrible, but it's for it to have the Xenoverse name and for it to be Xenoverse 3 and for it to be developed for 7 years, it's unacceptable for it to play like that. It's unacceptable, bro. I'm just being honest, man.
Now, I mean, from what I hear about Xenoverse 2, they had an open world map to where if you didn't want to just have to follow the linear progression of the game, you could just, spend your hours on side quests, basically doing whatever you wanted to do and running around and exploring and type stuff. He said with it being so linear, yeah, it's just a walkthrough. I mean, oh, here's the mission, you go fight the boss. Here's the next mission, you go fight the boss. Here's the next mission, you go fight the boss. It ain't just it's more of a direct grind versus open exploration. Yeah, which, like he said, that's not good for Xenoverse follow up that took 7 years. You could have put that out in a year and just gave it a different name.
Deserve better. I'm tired of getting a bare minimum. I'm tired of coping. I'm tired of saying, well, maybe they'll do this or maybe no. I have to be honest, bro. At this point, it's crazy now. It don't feel good at all. It don't feel like a Xenoverse game. So my real honest rating of Xenoverse 3 as of right now, I would have to give it I'll give it a 5 out of 10 right now, man. I'll give it a 5 out of 10, dude. Yeah, that's very low, bro. A 5 out of 10. I got bored when I was playing. I shouldn't feel that. I sat in line for 2 hours to get bored. So, yeah, that's how I feel right now for it, man. Now I'm about to kick over to the Xenoverse 2 things. I'm going to show y'all some things you could do in Xenoverse 2 that you can't do in Xenoverse 3. So I want y'all to go ahead and check that out, man. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over real quick to my stream side, man. But let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section below. Trust me, man. I'm not hating. I'm not hating at all. It's just an honest thing, dude. I just don't want to lie to you, bro. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. It just doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel great. But, yeah, man. So I'm going to go ahead and click over to the other side. Enjoy. I love y'all. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're a new man. I really do appreciate it. And, yeah, follow me. All right. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Now, if you don't know, I flew to DreamCon to go play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. This was the main mission that I have. This footage back here, this is footage that I have not shown y'all. This is footage that's not uploaded on the channel. This is when I played the third time to try some different things out. I'm just going to mute it and have to let it play in the background so y'all can see and whatnot. So, yes, I'm just going to have it playing in the background so y'all can see. It cool, bro. And this is me being honest, bro. All right, I'm just being completely honest, bro. I'm not under no Bandai contract. This is the most real that it's gonna get. Everybody else is gonna meet me. I'm an honest guy. I can't lie to y'all, bro. It don't feel nothing like Xenoverse. Like nothing at all. Like nothing at all. Just because you got Xenoverse animations don't mean it's a Xenoverse game. It's being real. Like, obviously they got some of the animations and stuff, but it don't feel nothing like Xenoverse. And I feel like that's what takes it away. Now, if this was a whole new game that didn't have the Xenoverse title, then I might look at it different, I'm not going to judge it too bad right now because I know it's the first build. I know it is, but if they release the game like this, people are not gonna like it. They're not gonna like it, bro. I'm just being honest. And I'm just being real, dude. Like when I was playing, I kind of got bored very fast. I'm just being real, dude. I did. I got bored. I got bored very fast, bro. Very, very fast, bro. Like at that point, I wanted to like low key kind of get off, bro. So I was right. Xenoverse take that.
not xenoverse.
Yo, thanks for the big five, though, boy. It's just I don't know, bro. I don't know. I feel like it's like guided. I don't feel like the movement is there. The movement is not there at all. You see how everybody's fighting the same?
The controller type they had y'all playing exists in XV2.
I heard the controller type they had y'all playing exists in Xenoverse 2? What you mean? Oh, so you say that it might have been a different setting or something, Jason? Yo, change the world. Thanks for the beat too, though, boy. The first one did say new game project.
Did say new game project.
Yeah, but dude, Xenoverse 3 though, they already used that title, bro. The main thing is it's the movement. It's the movement, bro. The movement is not that good. I'm just being real. Like I don't know how a 1v1 will work in this game. I really don't see it happening. And I know I was with the timer and things like that. Now, the cooldowns on the moves are fine with me. I didn't have a problem with that. But the Super Saiyan timer is garbage. I'm so sorry. It's terrible.
DJ
it's
tell you Renee, good to see how you doing.
Actually playing with it. It's
y'all
terrible,
go
bro.
check out
First,
the
like
big homie every night.
Faster.
Well, not every night. Friday and Saturday nights. Every Friday and Saturday night. Because you know she's going to do her THI into the G.
And when you go Super
Appreciate
Saiyan,
you coming by saying hi.
Feel no difference like that. It might be a little bit of difference. Like it might be a little bit faster. But it don't feel different. Like in Xenoverse, when you go Super Saiyan, when you hold down triangle, you will teleport to them. You can't do that in this game. In Xenoverse, when you go Super Saiyan, when you hit the X button, you automatically teleport. That don't happen in this game. And I feel like what the problem is, though, bro. I think I know what the problem is. The combat feels so stiff because you can't mix light attacks and heavy attacks. You can't. I think that's where it messes up at. In Xenoverse, you can do light, heavy, light, whatever. In this game, no. It's just lights or heavy. And I think that's what is messing up. I think that's what it is. Because you can't cancel out of things that good in this game. You see how you see how he paused and stopped right there? You can't. I was trying to do like boom, boom, heavy, light. I was trying to do stuff, but it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working, bro. Like I don't understand it. Like combos is there. You can do it. If you see how the key canceling is terrible. It's being real. It's trash. The key canceling is very terrible. It's being real, bro. Like the animation is. I don't know, dude. I don't know. And I don't want to hate on the game because y'all know I really want to like it, but it's just not there, bro. It's not there. Not for it to be a Xenoverse 3 game. It's not there, bro. It's not there right now. It's not. And I really hope that this is just the first build, and it just feels like that because it's the first build, but to show off this and for it to play like this, it's not good. And people around me was saying the same thing, like it's not that good. It's not. It's not, bro. The game ain't changing lives though, bro. I hope they have something they do, bro. I really do. But if it drops, like, because the only reason I'm scared, because when Bandai have a beta or a demo, they don't do a lot that changes after.
Non-existent.
Yeah, like the main button is your dash button. That's your main button. I'm gonna get on Xenoverse so y'all can. I'm gonna get on Xenoverse and I'm gonna show you everything you can't do in that game. That's what I'm about to do in a bit, bro.
Was perfection right? Full moon base.
I didn't know much of what he said though, bro. So I don't know if he was right or not. I haven't been watching his videos like that, bro. Yo, X, thanks for the big two though, boy. The game still has hella time to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It still have a lot of time to improve. That's why I don't want to bash it. But if the game released right this now, it's terrible.
Drop XV1 rebooted SMH.
Yeah, like I don't know, dude. But if it drops right now, like. I think it would do bad. It would do very bad. I'll have to see how PvP works in my opinion. I really want to see how PvP works. Because like as you can see, when people are doing it, it's literally the same combos you see. Everybody does the exact same combos, bro. Everybody. I don't like the stamina break system. It felt too weird in my opinion. I like just doing a stamina break to just do the move instead of having a system. It's just things just don't go together like that. It just don't feel like Xenoverse. You know what I'm saying? It really just don't feel like it in my opinion, bro. I'm trying to watch and see something that I do. Like you got 12 seconds to go Super Saiyan 3. You gotta like charge up your Super Saiyan 3. You should be able just to do it. You get what I'm saying? I forgot I had it. I thought he was gonna be there longer than you just go out of Super Saiyan. I don't know, man. I really don't know, bro. Yeah, stamina break shit sucks though, bro. The Broly move was new. What Broly move though, bro? Oh yeah, like backflip is in every character now if you don't know that. So if you want to do like backflips and things like that, it's in every character. And your evasive is a move now. It's not like an extra thing. It's like it's part of your moves if you don't know that. So like the evasive is literally a move that you have to equip. It's not like a separate thing. You know how Xenoverse, your evasive was different from your 3 other attacks? Well in this game, the evasive is part of your attacks. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of role play, bro. It's a lot of role play, bro. And like I said, I only have 15 minutes. I don't know too much of the game, but what I did and what I played is just, it's not there. It's not there, bro. It's not there. And I kind of want to see what bigger content creators are saying, because whatever, if they're hyping this up and they play, they are lying to you guys. It's not. If you're a hardcore Xenoverse fan and you played it like me, you're gonna think this game is trash. Just being honest, you're gonna think that. If you never played Xenoverse and this is your first time doing that, then you might like this game. You get what I'm saying? But for a Xenoverse fan, no, it's not there, bro. It's not there, bro. Losing hope, not gonna lie. I don't want to feel. You see, like right here, you see how I get like, I don't even do it right there. Oh, never mind. Usually when you clash, you're supposed to get it back off. I did that last time. Last time I had no stamina, right? I mean, no charge. But when I clashed, I automatically got it. I don't know why I didn't do it right there, so never mind. I thought I knew something. You can't grab. You can do a back hit and things like that. But you know in Xenoverse, you can do a whole bunch of fancy combos. I just don't see that happening for this game. You go on TikTok right now and type in Xenoverse combo. You'll see some crazy stuff people put together. I just don't see how that would work in this game. I don't see how that would work. Like I said, I'm not going to say everything. I only have 15 minutes, dude. Well, I played twice, so you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, dude. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I do not know. But if I had to rate it 1 out of 10 right now, I hate to say it, dude. As of what I did for it to be a Xenoverse 3 title, I'll give it a 4 or 5 out of 10, dude. 4 or 5, bro. 4 or 5. Well, there was no grab for us. We couldn't grab. I couldn't grab. I tried it. No grabbing, buddy. I tried to grab. It didn't let me do it. I don't know if it's a different button, but I tried it. It wasn't there.
So did you grab him or did you grab
Being
him?
honest, I tried it, dude. It just wasn't there. Thanks so much, Jay, for the big two, though, bro. Right here, they need a big change. I'm not gonna lie. They really need to listen because this game dropped the way it is. It's gonna get so much hate.
The future.
Yo, Howard, thanks for the big two, though, player. And I'll do the positives. I will say the positive, though. The positive is that the CPU is difficult. I do like that. The CPU is difficult, bro. So I really do enjoy that. It was difficult. Like, I kept dying every time. You see me dying over and over. But let me show you what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I'm talking about, though. So you get what I'm saying. Let me show you what I'm talking about. In a way. Let me try to find a scene of Broly. And let me try to do this. Not that. Let me try to find something. I'm going to show you what I don't like about this game. This is why Two Slime should be. Come on, bro. Troll it. Let me troll. Yo, thanks for the big two change. Let me show you what I'm talking about. What I don't like. Let me try to find another one. Thanks for the big two, bro. 7 years development, niggas ain't got grabs. For 7 years? Nah, bro. I'm gonna show you, bro. You see how it's stopping? Like, you see how I'm punching? You see how, like, it wasn't fluent. It's not fluent. It's like there's pauses. And that's what's pissing me off. There's pauses. It's like everything is an animation. It don't feel like you just, You know what I'm saying? It feels like, Like, that's how it feels. It don't feel like you can just do it quick and just move on. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? You see how, you saw that? You see how, like the long pauses? Like, I danced and tried to go in for another hit, and he did this animation. That's what I mean. Yo, Jason, thanks for the big two.
I don't like the knockback animations pause.
You see, they were going for, you'll see what they were going for. I don't know what they're going for, bro. I just rather them not call it Xenoverse 3. They could have got away with it if it wasn't called Xenoverse 3. Before third sequence, it's not it, bro. It's not it, bro. I'm trying to say. Like, that's your main mechanic is that dashing. That's your main mechanic. You see what I'm talking about? That's how you cancel. You have to cancel with the L1 button. See how fight in and pause. Fight in, pause. Like, I don't see how PvP will work in this game. I really don't see how it will work. I'm trying to find a clip of something else I don't like. I don't know if I did it in here. I'm trying to see. Give me a second. I'm trying to wait till he do his evasive so you'll see what I'm talking about. Because that's how a lot of people got hit by his evasive. That's how we kept dying. Like, right here, you see, like, it's not quick enough. You can't, there's no, my fault. I'm going to show y'all real quick, bro. It's corny. You have to spend resources. You have to spend so much resources just to combo, bro. It's going to be a slop fest, bro. It seems like they don't know the identity of the game. I don't know what it is. Let me go to Xenoverse 2 and let me show you what I'm talking about, of what you can't do in this game. I'm going to go to Xenoverse 2 and show y'all what I'm talking about, bro. Let me go to Xenoverse 2. Give me a second. Let me change my screen. This is what they're missing. If they put this in the game, it's better. It looks so trash. It's scary right now. Let's be honest. I didn't want to come back and lie to you guys, bro, but it's scary right now. It is scary. None of my friends with Blaze didn't like it. Six didn't like it.
Difficult or do a lot of damage.
There's other people there that didn't like it either, bro. I'm not just saying this. Like, people really complaining. They're like, why do you feel like that? It's something off. Like I said, I don't want to bash it too much because I know it's a demo and I know it's an early build, but some shit has to change because that shit is not it, bro. It's not it, bro. Timmy, does do a lot of damage in your limited? Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people kept dying. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about, bro. As a pro Xenoverse 2 player. Show you what I'm talking about. I didn't, like, usually when you first play a game, you're like, oh wow, like, I got bored, bro. I really did I got bored because I was doing the same thing. I was trying to mix it up. I was trying to do different things. I was trying, like, the moves feel like you can't just do things into moves. I know I'm ass at playing it because it was my first time playing the game, so that's another way I'm trying to look. Maybe when we playing it for 10 hours and all that, we'll start learning things. But for first glance, it's like roleplay, dude. So this is what I'm talking about in Xenoverse 3, where they're missing out on. This is what they need. This right here. They don't have this. No, it's this. Wait, it's that. This is what you got in Xenoverse 3. And when I'm fighting, if I'm fighting, you see how you have to stop what you're doing? They don't have this, where you can just circle around your character. You can't do this. No, it's not in the game, little bro. When you do it, it's this. And this is a whole animation. This is not, you see how to cancel out of that and do that? You can't do that in that game. No. In that game, when you're trying to do a whole combo, like in Xenoverse, you can do this, and this is the combo. If you want to teleport, you can do the teleport. You know what I'm saying? That's how you can do it. Or you can do it like this. You can like cancel your combos to other things. It's like you can't cancel. It's like an auto combo for square and an auto combo for triangle. That's the way it feels. Like this is the only combo you can do in Xenoverse 3. This is the only thing you can do. You get what I'm saying? There's no, you see how, like, no, there's none of that. There's none of that, dude. It's like your square combo and your triangle combo. That is it. It's not like you can mix the combos together. That's where they're messing it up. You can't mix them together. I'm trying to mix it together. You know what I'm saying? And playing the game is like this. Oh, wait. How you doing in Xenoverse again? I forgot. I like that. This is your main mechanic in Xenoverse. Is that? That is your main mechanic. This is how you go to your combos like this. Is that little dash, sweet boot dash. You see what I'm saying? So that's your main mechanic in Xenoverse 3. Is that. And it's like roleplay, dude. It's like roleplay. But yeah, I think when people need to speak up. So squadron combos, man. Squadron combos, bro. To being real, bro. I think if they add this into the game, it will fix a lot. Add this. Excuse me. Add this into the game because this is how you cancel out of things. You know what I'm saying? Add that into the game and add where you can mix square and triangle combos together. Then we're there. We're there. We're there if you can do that. But if you can't do that, it's gonna fail, bro. It's going to fail. Everything is animations, bro.
Imagine being the person to swear up and down that DIH game Xenoverse 3. Couldn't be me, TBH yawning face.
Go, bro. Imagine being the person to sweep up and down. Yeah, dude, can't do that, bro. Yo, Genius, thanks for beat final, boy. Beat final, boy. Appreciate it, Genius, bro. But yeah, dude, I'm just being honest, bro. It's a lot they gotta work on. It is a lot if they want this game to be Xenoverse. I'm trying to think some other things. Like, y'all have any questions? I can't think of something unless y'all ask me. Please ask me something. Ask me something. Do y'all have any questions? Could it be us, Genius?
Could it be US Genius?
Could it be us, Genius? Do you have any questions or anything? Somebody, please ask me a question. I can answer it for you because I can't think of everything on top of my head. And this is how PvP will be. Oh yeah, I watched that, but
XP3 gameplay at 629. Is this how PvP will be?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, but I just don't see how PvP will work in this game. I have to see gameplay. I really don't see how it will work, bro.
Is there anything you liked?
I think the stuff that I like about it was it did feel smooth though. The fighting felt clunky, but the movement felt smooth. Like when you're running on the ground, when you're in the lobby, it felt smooth. The smoothness is there. The fighting is it's terrible. I'm not gonna lie, it's terrible. For a Xenoverse game, it's terrible. I'm not gonna lie, dude. But I do feel like it's smooth in other aspects though. I just feel like they gotta get rid of a lot of animations. They have to change a lot of animations, bro. Does it play like Kakarot?
XV2 and XV were more like the Budokai games FR.
Yo, thanks so much for the big five, Jason, bro. I feel like they want to become more of an MMORPG
Doesn't
fighting
sound worthy
game.
of the Xenoverse name. Keep
That's
this
what it is.
hot, and don't let it leave the kitchen. It's not ready.
It's not ready at all. Nah, Battle of Z is better than that. I'm not gonna lie, Battle of Z is better. And I'm not gonna lie, I think you're right. It plays like Kakarot. If I had to compare it, because Kakarot you have to vanish and do that. It's like Kakarot
They did say
roleplay.
it's a whip on the animations in that live stream.
What you mean a whip on animation? What you mean? Bella, thanks so much for the big five, though, boy. That's bad. It's like it's got some Kakarot aspects of the fighting though. Like yeah, I need to play. I don't have Kakarot on here, but I want to play Kakarot so I can like feel it again. But like, it's something. It's what I showed y'all. It's like you don't. It's like you're guided when you're fighting. That's what it feels like. It feels like you don't have your own movement. It's like they give you a movement when you fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like a direction. It's not like you're free balling and doing what you want. It feel like you press that square combo. You press that triangle. It don't feel like you can just square triangle, up, down, dash, vanish, hit them down, key blast, go right. It's none of that. It's like it's a format. That's what it feels like. It's like a format. Tell my little Craig with the.
It was just a demo, so I don't have a full opinion yet.
That's what. Yeah, that too though.
That since it's still in development.
That's how I feel too. I don't know how much that development is, so that's why I don't want to really bash it yet because it is a demo.
Would you like XV3 PvP if it's like gameplay at 629?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I gotta see it though. That wasn't really enough. All we saw was a kick. You know what I'm saying? I have to see gameplay. I really have to see it, bro. Most rational Dragon Ball fan, but I'm just being honest, chat, bro. I'm just being honest, and this is just me being completely real. right now, it just don't look good right now. And that's just me being real. It's not me hating. I'm not hating. Y'all know I want this game to be good as anything, bro. But as of right now, the game is not ready for it to be to the audience at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. That shit, if that shit get released and everybody play that, you're a Xenoverse fan, it will be uproar on Twitter. It'll be uproar on everywhere. Because it don't feel like Xenoverse. Not at all. It feels like Kakarot with Xenoverse animations. Let's be real. That's what it feels like. That's what it is. It's like Kakarot with Xenoverse animations. That's the perfect way you could put it. That's literally the perfect way you could put it, bro. Literally the perfect way you could put it. 7 years, how much you think they're going to be able to change before the beginning of the year? That's the thing. I know we keep saying 7 years, but we don't know how old this build is. That's the thing. This could be an old-ass build. We don't know how old this build is. We don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how old it is. This could be one of the first builds. This could be the second one, or it could be the last one. Hopefully it's not. But I just said we don't know, though, bro. We don't know anything, though. But that build is not it. That shit is not it, bro. That shit is not it, bro. I was very disappointed, though. I was. Kind of ruined my mood a little bit, bro. And I played it 3 times, dude. I played it 3 times, bro. And I'm not gonna lie. Nah, but they felt the same. They felt the same. This female Earthling and this male saying they felt the same, dude.
Why show off such a bad build, though?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. It's me, it's cope. This is me coping, basically. There's no Bandai, usually when they have stuff, that's almost the final product. But I'm just saying, listen, I need y'all, like, I really need y'all to tell y'all favorite YouTuber and everything. Forget the contract. You have to be honest. It's not there. It's not there. Tell your favorite YouTuber. I don't know what they're saying, so I might do a couple of reactions to what they're saying. But I feel like if a lot of people speak up now and tell them, like, yo, this shit is ass, it could do something. It really could. Same thing with Sparking when we did that role playing things right now, because it's not there. If they see a lot of positivity for it, then they're going to think this shit is okay. It's not. It's not Xenoverse at all. We didn't want you to change the game that much. We want you to keep the fighting kind of the same, just balance it, and make it newer animations and make it more smoother. That's all we wanted you to do.
Remember how SC was a different game at every convention it was at? Bandai always role-playing with the builds.
Yeah, I'm hoping, Reggie. I have a little bit of coping side of me left, bro. I'm going to react to some of them and things like that. But YouTube, I am recording on YouTube. YouTube, listen, all I'm going to say is, right now, it's a 4 or 5 out of 10 for me right now. I'll wait to see more info, a new build, and stuff like that. I'm waiting to see it, bro. But, yeah, right now, it's not looking good for us, bro. It's not. And that's just the honest truth, bro. But thank you so much, YouTube, for doing that, man. If you have any comments in the comment section below, please let me know, man. But I just had to be honest with y'all, bro. I had to be honest with y'all, but thank you.
What? It seems to be out of order! Sorry about that! This machine is definitely broken! Aha! You see? 203 points! That's more like it. The machine is working perfectly now! Thank you, thank you! Yes! Finally! A normal score! 186! Another normal score! This is more like it! No! This is impossible! This machine is definitely broken!
Of course, the gipe. Hey, that dude said he came in and hit that motherfucker for real. Starting off with a shocked Batman.
Batman has faced some of the most dangerous criminals throughout his career, from the cunning intellect and twisted riddles of the Riddler to the overwhelming strength and brutality of Bane. But what happens when Batman encounters a man who has walked through hell itself? A man so terrifying and powerful that he effortlessly wipes out his enemies, leaving behind nothing but their echoing screams. A man who cannot be killed or stopped because he has already died. We hear Spawn speaking as he explains that his wife, Wanda Blake, is dead. As As he narrates, we see a comparison between Spawn's and Bruce's early lives, highlighting how both of them have spent their entire lives fighting and struggling against the challenges they have faced. As it becomes clear that Spawn is speaking in the present about an encounter he had with Bruce in the past.
Our priorities were the same, to fight and protect those we cared about.
We are then transported back to the day when Spawn had met Bruce, as we learn that Spawn is searching for a being simply known as the Black Beast. He explains that he has received information suggesting that with the Black Beast's power, he may be able to unlock a portal and retrieve the soul of his deceased wife.
But in that darkness, a voice told me the power needed to unlock it had been given to another, a monster that looked like me.
Spawn continues explaining that he went to meet the Black Beast in its cave. As we see this moment from the past, he reflects on how he still curses himself for what almost happened that day. That same night, we see Bruce in his mansion. When Alfred arrives, Bruce explains that it is the anniversary of his parents' deaths. They begin talking about that night and Bruce's past. However, they are interrupted when they both notice the bat signal. Alfred expresses that he does not like seeing it, but Bruce reassures him and asks for his suit. As Bruce leaves, he explains that Commissioner Gordon has been receiving strange, cryptic messages that led him to the alley where his parents were killed. There, Batman finds a pearl from a necklace, similar to the one his mother was wearing on the night she died, and that's when he hears,
Good, I'm glad you recognize it. In fact, you've always wondered what happened to your mom's pearls, haven't you?
a member from the Court of Owls, a criminal organization and secret society from Gotham taunting Batman. Batman lunges at him, but the man quickly moves away and reappears behind Bruce, telling him that Batman is not the only monster they created that night. And as Bruce picks up the necklace, we see Spawn attacking him. Batman crashes into a wall, stunned by Spawn's immense strength, as Spawn screams, calling Batman a demon and demanding that Bruce give him something he wants. Batman tries to survive, but Spawn simply... Spawn continues overpowering Bruce, relentlessly beating him down. However, just as it seems he is about to kill Batman, his powers suddenly vanish, as Spawn quickly realizes that he is standing in a dead zone, a place where he loses all of his supernatural abilities. Realizing that something is wrong, Bruce quickly attacks Spawn and begins fighting back. As the two of them trade blows, we see the member of the Court of Owls watching from the shadows, remarking that everything is unfolding exactly as they predicted. The scene then shifts to Spawn standing over a bloodied and beaten Bruce Wayne, as the man explains that the Court of Owls is divided on what to do with Bruce. Some want him dead, while others see him as a potential leader.
Come get me! No.
Batman realizes that Spawn loses his powers in certain areas and instructs him to come closer. Spawn responds that Batman is trapped and will have to move past him eventually, so there is no point in waiting. However, as they stand their ground, they begin to talk. Spawn explains that his wife is dead and that Batman is the only man who might be able to bring her back. Batman, however, tells Spawn that he has been tricked, saying he does not even know who Spawn is or how he could possibly bring his wife back. As they speak, they both notice the Court of Owls watching them. Batman then steps closer and tells Spawn that they have a lot to talk about. And bit by bit, it becomes clear that the Court of Owls used Spawn in their plan to try and kill Batman. But since that didn't work, we see the Talon and Assassin working for the Court of Owls getting ready. Spawn and Batman arrive at the Batcave, where a conversation quickly turns tense. Spawn expresses disbelief that Batman and his allies are entirely human, suggesting that in Spawn's world, filled with monsters and overwhelming evil, ordinary humans wouldn't last a moment. As Spawn reveals his face, he challenges Batman to step up his game. Batman responds calmly, insisting that if everything came down to powers alone, he would have been dead long ago, as he explains that his survival has always depended on intellect rather than strength, emphasizing how consistently he identifies and exploits his enemy's weaknesses to overcome even the most dangerous threats. Realizing that the Court of Owls might not be the only ones behind this, they begin their investigation, and as both of them start gathering information in their own ways, they realize that it leads to one person. The Joker. He begins talking about the Court of Owls, but tells them that he isn't exactly working with them. As he talks, Spawn instantly grabs him and tells him he won't play any stupid games. So the Joker explains that the only reason both of their investigations led to him is because the man they're looking for is not Joker, but a man named Joe Kerr, and they simply misheard it. He also tells them that he wants the Court of Owls destroyed, just as much as they do, instructing Spawn to deal with Batman. He adds that once the job is finished, the Joker has other plans for him. As they leave, we see the Joker surrounded by a group of miniature clowns that resemble Violator, the supervillain from the Spawn universe. As time goes by, we realize what's really happening. The Court of Owls is trying to open a portal to rule Gotham and the world, and they're trying to use Batman as a key, or just get rid of him entirely, all while using Spawn as a trigger. So Spawn teleports to the Court of Owls, kidnaps Joe Kerr, and tells Talon that if he wants him back, he'll have to find both him and Batman before teleporting away. We then see Batman and Spawn working together, preparing for Talon's arrival. When Talon appears, he immediately attacks Batman and begins telling him more about the Court of Owls, but that's when
Let him be.
Talon releases Batman and faces Spawn in a standoff as Batman slips away. Knowing everything about dead zones, Talon realizes that Spawn still has his powers as long as he remains where he is, but will lose them the moment he steps outside the zone. Confident in his advantage, Talon taunts Spawn, daring him to come out and fight. Spawn calmly replies that Joe Kerr is standing within his zone, and if Talon wants him back, he'll have to come to him either way. So they begin fighting, and during the chaos, Joe Kerr manages to grab Talon's dagger and free himself. Wielding the weapon, he tries to strike both Batman and Spawn. Spawn suddenly tells Batman to shut off the lights. Without understanding why, Batman presses a button on his remote, plunging the area into darkness, and that's when we see Spawn using his powers to morph into Batman before stabbing Joe Kerr.
Ow! What have you done? I've bought you time.
Spawn reveals that the battlefield they chose is none other than Arkham Asylum, where the prisoners are watching everything unfold. He explains that by seeing Batman pushed to this extreme, the criminals will begin to fear him, and
They'll all think twice before coming after you again, and you just might survive a little longer.
Talon grabs Spawn and begins beating him after noticing that he's lost his powers again for 2 minutes. He then places a finger against Spawn's neck and orders Batman to help him open the portal. Batman refuses, explaining that after seeing Spawn kill someone, he no longer cares what happens to him. Batman then also threatens to release all the prisoners, warning that if he does, the Court of Owls will lose its influence over the city as the criminals take control. Talon dismisses it as a bluff, but Batman tells him to go ahead and kill both him and Spawn if he really believes that. And just as Talon pulls out Martha Wayne's pearl necklace, Spawn gets back to his feet with his powers restored, and that's when Spawn's cape opens, swallowing Talon whole, and without saying a single word, Spawn simply disappears.
Knew that collab wasn't gonna be too successful. They out there doing a lot. That's a nice little video though.
Narrative mirroring, in the context of today's video, is a storytelling technique in which the story of one character is essentially used to either represent the backstory or future story of another character. And the goal in today's video is to find out whose story represents whose present story was once somebody's backstory, and whose future story is bound to become somebody in the present story. However, as mentioned by Pooh in Season 4, when he says the world going one way and people another, implies that despite the cycle of the game repeating itself, the humans aren't so much doing the same, and that the players of today are far worse than the players of the past. And so it isn't as simple as just labelling Michael Lee the next Omar Little, as frankly such isn't the case. Sure, they share similarities. However, those brought up in Season 4 are bound to become much more monstrous than those brought up before Season 1.
Game the same, just got more feds.
Michael Lee's reason for turning to the streets was because he had to fend for his little brother Buck. He stomached all sorts of horror, just so he could save his younger brother from a life of pain. On the surface, Michael Lee is a morally commendable individual. However, if you look deeper, you'll learn that aside from the murder of Junebug, Michael doesn't have much of a problem soldiering for a stone-cold killer involved in the murder of innocents. And it's only when Marlowe comes after him that Michael parts ways from a life of murdering whoever he's told, to the life that he leads now of ripping and running. He then sacrifices a relationship with his brother, just to make sure he remains safe as Michael is once again forced to continue his journey into the streets. To put it plainly, Michael may share the same occupation as Omar, but he sure doesn't share the same reasoning or moral code. You see, unlike Michael, Omar was the little brother. However, he unfortunately didn't share the same luxury as Buck, as his older brother in No Heart Anthony, for whatever reason, couldn't shield Omar from the streets. And I believe this to be the major difference when comparing Michael's story to Omar's. You see, Omar was fortunate enough to not have to care for a dependent as well as himself, and so from an early age, he would have had the opportunity to be a little more flexible with his morality. Survival weren't so much of an issue, as it was only himself he had to look out for. However, Michael was a total opposite. Where Omar had some leniency in deciding who he robbed and killed, Michael had to do whatever he was ordered for the sake of his little brother. And so to say that Michael's story was simply Omar Little's backstory isn't quite true. And I would actually argue Michael's story to closer resemble that of Omar's older brothers, No Heart Anthony. However, that isn't to say that Michael's future is at all going to look like that of Anthony's, or Omar's for that matter. Rather, I would argue him to more be in the middle of the two, a stick-up man much less merciful than those who came before him.
Look at you. Not even blinking.
Out of all the corner boys, Naaman Bryce was the one fortunate enough to both be shielded and eventually saved from a life on the streets, as Naaman was lucky enough to be related to Wee Bay Bryce, somebody whose name rung out so loud that his son were able to get away with much many couldn't. Take for example the time he slacked off when working under Bodie. When many would have found themselves out of work, Naaman finds himself up for promotion. However, having strong relations isn't always a benefit, especially in the world of The Wire, as with strong relations also comes strong expectations. If you're the son of a ruthless soldier, then you're expected to become somewhat similar. However, it takes the death of D'Angelo Barksdale for Naaman's father to realise that just because one shares blood with a killer doesn't mean they themselves are going to be one. You can't expect somebody shielded from the consequences of the game to treat such as though their life depends on it. Essentially saying that you can't teach Naaman to play the game as though his life is on the line, as you could say Michael Lee, whose life is actually on the line. The story of Naaman Bryce is essentially the backstory of D'Angelo Barksdale. Both were raised by mothers who pushed for them to become like their relatives, and both were protected from the game by said relatives, leaving us with two extremely emotional men, not cut out for the role they're expected to play. And if it weren't for Bunny Colvin, Naaman's future story would have wounded up looking like that of D'Angelo Barksdale's. However, because he was seemingly saved, an intriguing question arises. Who does Naaman Bryce turn into? And the answer to this question is a morally commendable version of Clay Davis. You see, There are numerous parallels to Naaman and Clay over the course of the show, the most obvious being the "I'll take anybody's money" line. However, to me, the comparison that solidified these two is how they act different depending on who they're around. Clay Davis is all temper tantrum when behind closed doors, yet happy-go-lucky when around those he feels he needs to impress. And this is exactly how Naaman acts. He's all street and trying to show off when around his peers, yet softens up when around people like Carver and Bunny. Now, this isn't to say that Naaman is going to grow up to become a corrupt politician, as such would suggest that Bunny's teachings only take him so far. And such a comparison also misses one of the points the writer tries to make, which is that people aren't so much separated by mentality as they are by opportunity. There are those in the government who have the mentality of those on the street, and there are those in the street who have the mentality of those in the government. Everybody is separated by opportunity. Clay has the mentality of a player, despite being lucky enough to find himself a part of the government, and Naaman has the same mentality as Clay, yet is saved by Bunny Colvin, essentially saying that Clay Davis is who Naaman Bryce would become, if not for Bunny Colvin. Kennard is one of a few characters on The Wire with the ability to see things exactly as they are. And what I mean by this is that when Omar Little is seen hobbling through Baltimore, where many might run in fear as they see the man who took on both Avon and Marlowe, Kennard simply sees Omar for what he truly is, an emperor with no clothes, which is part of the reason why he's able to do what many couldn't, as it wasn't so much skill that was stopping the average Joe from popping one in Omar's back, more than it was fear. However, such an ability isn't always a benefit, as what I've described is essentially just the ability to commit senseless violence without filter. You'll kill whoever you feel like killing, regardless of whether or not they're a player or police, which ultimately ends up in Kennard going to jail, where I imagine he'll only become much worse. To answer the video's title, the backstory of Kennard, as well as his future story, I believe somewhat resembles that of Bird's, which isn't so much surprising, as the two are heavily hinted at to be parallels throughout the show. Both disregard the rules of the organisation they work for, Bird getting high on his own supply, and Kennard simply robbing the supply. They both have a knack for senseless violence, Bird willing to attack police, and Kennard willing to burn a cat, and they both harbour a deep hatred for gay people, with Bird mocking both Omar and Kima for their sexuality, and Kennard acting disgusted when asked by Naaman for an opinion on his ponytail.
How do you think I look with no tail on my head?
Do I look like a faggy?
I would also imagine Kennard to hold the gun he used on Omar in the highest of regards, flaunting it to all those who'll listen, exactly like how Bird flashed his gun around to people in the projects. Ultimately, they're both ruthless killers who care little for both the law and the rules of those they work for. Soldiers soldiering just for the sake of causing pain. Coupled with the fact that they both look identical, Kennard is almost definitely the next Bird.
Bird trifling, basically. Killing everyday working man and all.
Who got him?
Some young boy.
Who?
Ain't heard the name, don't even know if there was a Y. Hop on the hip-hop, see the damage, you know.
The fate of Randy Wagstaff, for some reason, was left far more ambiguous than all the other Corner Boys. There are those who believe he becomes the next Bodie, those who believe he becomes the next Prop Joe, and even those who believe he becomes the next Marlowe Stanfield. However, if we look at the facts, Randy could best be described as an individual capable of running a store, an individual who through no fault of his own finds himself involved in the business of others, and finally somebody who confesses to the police at the first sign of trouble. If you haven't yet figured it out, Randy Wagstaff shares a near-identical storyline to that of Old-Face Andre. They both run a store, both find themselves being used as a middleman where a crime takes place. Andre the witness who saw Omar murder a delivery lady, and Randy the lookout whilst two boys and a girl have sex in the school bathroom. Both situations eventually go tits up due to a change in story. Omar tells Bung what really happened at the store, and the girl claims she was raped instead of it being consensual. Ultimately, both Andre and Randy find themselves in the line of fire all because of another person's doing, and they both talk to the police in an attempt to dodge the firing squad. Now that isn't to say that the future story of Randy is bound to look like that of Old-Face Andre's. Rather, Randy's story, I believe, somewhat resembles that of Old-Face Andre's backstory. However, where Randy seemingly learned the importance behind not talking to the police, Old-Face Andre didn't.
Bro, Joe said you was my escort out.
Manner speaking, that be true.
As described by Carver, Randy isn't so much a bad kid, rather he just shows bad judgment, which is
I like how Slim had to do that though. Like, well, I'm going to kill somebody because Prop Joe usually don't kill too many people. So when he did kill somebody, he had Slim Charles do it though, right? Right. It's like, now I got a guaranteed shooter, so yeah, but hell, just pass him off. He forgot that Slim was the shooter.
Old-Face Andre. He isn't a terrible person like those he works for. Rather, he's just poor with how he handles business outside of his shop. I believe Randy will one day find himself in a position similar to Andre's, especially now as the inheritor of his uncle's shop given Cheese's death. However, I don't see him ever amounting to much more, especially not to the point of Prop Joe, who's actually almost the total opposite of his nephew when it comes to how he deals with business, where Joe will make sure he's as far away from the chaos as possible. Randy somehow manages to pit himself right in the middle of it. Just because you buy for $1 and sell for $2 doesn't make you the genius that is Prop Joe. The story of Dookie Weems is most obviously meant to represent the backstory of Bubbles. However, the point I want to make when it comes to Dookie's story is that just because Dookie becomes a drug addict doesn't mean he's going to become the next Bubbles. And the same applies to all the other characters. Just because their stories end up looking like the beginning of somebody else's doesn't mean they're going to become that exact person, or even that their futures will play out in a similar fashion. Where Bubbles had a home to go back to in his sister, Dookie had nothing. And so just because you see him as a junkie come the end of the show doesn't mean that his future is going to play out like that of Bubbles. The point is that you get an idea of how a person like Bubbles can end up in his unique situation, not so much that Dookie is to become the next Bubbles.
Still don't need a gun. Fucking with Mike, right? Uh-oh.
Here are 10 of the craziest Sideshow Bob plotlines in Simpsons history. We might as well begin with the episode that started it all, right? Behold, our first run-in with the criminal that is Sideshow Bob. Season 1's Krusty Gets Busted starts with Bart, Lisa, and Maggie glued to the TV watching their favorite clown, Krusty the Clown. And in typical Krusty fashion, the show opens with Krusty launching onto the screen. Literally, in a motor car, poor Sideshow Bob is once again playing the unwilling punching bag and gets shot out of a cannon. Apparently, that's what one viewer wanted for her birthday. No cake, just human cannibals. Meanwhile, an Itchy and Scratchy episode starts playing, and Marge isn't happy about it.
What a senseless violence.
Homer is on his way home when he stops for ice cream at the Quickie Mart, and he gets a front row seat to Krusty robbing Apu at gunpoint.
We'll see when I get done, hell.
Back at the house, everyone else is getting tortured by Patty and Selma's vacation photos, but Homer is still rattled by what he saw and heads straight to the police, and they identify Krusty as the robber.
Freddy,
Mr. Simpson? Yes,
No,
sir.
I'm gonna need it.
Send in the
It got
clown.
air.
Finally, some good news for Homer. He dodges the rest
And
of
I
that
got air in there.
slideshow. But then the TV blares the news of Krusty's arrest, and Marge, along with Patty and Selma, is less than thrilled to hear Homer gossiping on tape. Bart is crushed. Krusty is a criminal. Kent Brockman reports on Krusty's upcoming trial. It's juicy. Krusty's got a pacemaker, he's lost a lot of money gambling, well that one isn't a shocker. And worst of all, Reverend Lovejoy is calling for a public burning of Krusty merch. Of course he is. Bart and Lisa watch in disbelief as Krusty shuffles into court looking way less colorful than usual. No makeup, no giant clown shoes. He's not looking great, to say the least. Bart's not ready to give up hope, though. Something's off, and it's not just Apu's questionable microwaved burritos. In court, Homer's testimony confirms it, and Krusty's found guilty. But Bart can't let go.
I'll never forgive you for making me say this, but